し密着映像も公開。
The moment those behind-the-scenes clips finally aired, people across Japan stopped breathing for a second. The legendary figure skating pair team of Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara, better known to fans around the world as Rikuryu, appeared on a major television special and revealed the emotional truth they had hidden for years. For the first time ever, they opened up about the pain, pressure, and silent battles that even their retirement press conference never touched. One single sentence during the broadcast left the entire studio frozen in silence, and viewers watching from home could feel just how deep the bond between these two athletes truly was. Today, we're diving deep into the emotional moments from that unforgettable program, the reactions exploding online across Japan and overseas, and the hidden struggles behind their rise to the top of the skating world. How did these two athletes climb all the way to the top of world figure skating? And behind all the gold medals and standing ovations, how much pain were they secretly carrying the entire time? Honestly, after watching this broadcast myself, I couldn't speak for several minutes. It reminded me just how powerful an athlete's words can be when they come straight from the heart. Before we get into the emotional stories revealed on the show, let's rewind and look at the journey that brought them here. The partnership between Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara did not begin with perfect conditions or instant success. At the time, Japan's pair skating scene was struggling badly on the international stage. While Japan had produced many stars in singles skating, pair skating remained a completely different challenge, and the gap between Japan and the world's top teams felt enormous. Most people believed success on the world stage was nearly impossible. But step by step, competition after competition, the two continued building results quietly and steadily. Slowly, they climbed onto the podium at the World Championships, began challenging the best teams at the Grand Prix final, and eventually achieved historic milestones that no Japanese pair team had ever reached before. But behind those achievements was a level of suffering far greater than fans ever imagined. During the program, Riku Miura spoke softly about the darkest period of her career. She admitted there were times when poor results made her question her own value as a person. The studio instantly fell silent after hearing those words. Ryuichi Kihara then revealed the crushing pressure unique to pair skating. He explained that pair skating can never be carried by one person alone, and because of that, every mistake feels heavier. One error from him could destroy his partner's performance too. The emotional pressure became far more intense than most people could ever imagine. And yet, they never gave up. No matter how many times they fell, no matter how close they came to breaking mentally, they always returned to the ice together. Watching this program made many viewers realize just how brutal pair skating truly is. Unlike singles skating, pair skating demands complete trust, constant communication, and the responsibility of carrying another person's dreams alongside your own. For over a decade, these two athletes carried that pressure every single day. As the show continued, the atmosphere slowly became more emotional. At first, both athletes looked nervous in the studio, but warm comments from the host helped them relax. Kihara joked that he was sweating more during the talk show than during competitions, making the entire studio laugh. Sitting beside him, Miura smiled softly and admitted she had actually been looking forward to appearing on the show. Soon, the conversation shifted toward the hidden struggles of competing at the top of the world. Old competition footage began playing across the studio screens. Every time a performance clip appeared, applause filled the room, but behind the smiles on their faces, viewers could sense complicated emotions. Kihara quietly admitted that he still could not watch those performances objectively because the memories remained too vivid and emotional. Miura added that during those years, they were simply desperate to survive and keep pushing forward. The program also revealed small pre-competition routines fans had never heard before. Before every performance, Miura always listened to the same music, while Kihara would take 3 deep breaths before stepping onto the ice. Those tiny habits helped calm their nerves before entering the pressure of competition. In elite sports, routines like these often become an athlete's emotional anchor. The two also shared memories from their overseas training camps and competitions. They talked about struggling to find familiar food in foreign countries, staying awake late into the night reviewing choreography inside hotel rooms, and endlessly repeating movements together until everything felt perfect. Looking back now, Miura smiled and said all of those difficult moments had become precious memories. You could see the satisfaction of a completed journey written all over her face. But one of the most touching parts of the broadcast came when they discussed life after retirement. After spending years living entirely for skating, both admitted they felt lost once the daily routine suddenly disappeared. Kihara laughed while saying it felt strange waking up and realizing he no longer had to rush to the rink every morning. Miura explained that she was finally learning how to enjoy ordinary life and appreciate small moments of happiness she never had time to notice before. That honesty hit viewers hard. Many retired athletes try to appear completely positive and strong after leaving competition, but Riku spoke openly about confusion, discomfort, and uncertainty. And maybe that honesty is exactly why so many people continue to love them. Then came the story that completely shook the audience. Out of all the emotional moments in the program, one hidden memory affected viewers more than anything else. It was a story they had never shared publicly before, not even during their retirement press conference. After failing to achieve the result they wanted at a major competition, the two sat silently inside their hotel room late at night. Neither of them spoke. Kihara remembered that moment clearly and admitted that he couldn't even find words to encourage his partner. Time simply passed in complete silence. For an athlete, and even as a human being, it may have been one of the most painful moments imaginable. Then suddenly, Miura broke the silence with one quiet sentence. "We're not finished yet, right?" That single line changed everything. Kihara admitted that without those words, he might never have been able to stand back up again. The entire studio atmosphere changed instantly. Cast members became emotional, and viewers online exploded with reactions. Fans wrote things like, "That one sentence destroyed me emotionally. I couldn't stop crying. This is what true partnership looks like. They weren't trying to fix each other, they were simply facing the same direction together. That's the real strength of pair skating." And honestly, those comments perfectly captured the moment. Most people panic when someone they care about is hurting. They rush to say something comforting immediately. But Miura didn't do that. She shared the silence first. She waited. She understood his emotions before speaking only the exact words he needed to hear. That kind of connection can only exist between partners who have fought side by side for years. Even now, that story gives people chills. The program later explored how their relationship evolved over the years. Miura laughed while admitting that when she first met Kihara, she thought he looked a little scary. Kihara could only smile awkwardly hearing that confession. Meanwhile, he revealed that Miura seemed incredibly quiet at first, until she stepped onto the ice and transformed into a completely different person. Of course, the two also admitted they argued many times during training. Small disagreements over timing, choreography, and emotional expression sometimes created heavy tension between them. But Miura explained that those arguments happened because both of them refused to compromise their standards. They kept talking things through because they were completely serious about reaching the world level. Kihara then delivered another powerful line that deeply resonated with fans. "When you truly care, you clash. If it's half-hearted, it never even becomes a fight." That sentence perfectly explained the reality of pair skating. Spending years together on the ice, reading each other's breathing, noticing every tiny emotional change, their relationship became something deeper than ordinary teammates. Through conflict, trust was built. Through pressure, their bond became unshakable. Near the end of the show, the host asked them to share messages for each other. Miura shyly thanked Kihara for everything they had experienced together. Kihara quietly nodded before answering with words that immediately moved the entire studio. "If it wasn't for Aki-chan, I could never have made it this far." At that moment, warm applause filled the studio, and honestly, it was impossible not to feel emotional watching it. Behind those simple words were years of sacrifice, trust, pain, and memories shared between two athletes who carried each other all the way to the top of the world. One thing became crystal clear during the broadcast. The success of Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara was never built by talent alone. Behind every medal, every standing ovation, and every historic performance stood countless people supporting them from the shadows. Even though the program did not include many direct quotes from their coaches, viewers could still feel the deep gratitude both skaters carried in their hearts. When Kihara spoke passionately about wanting to grow pair skating in Japan, and Miura said she hoped more young skaters could find inspiration through their journey, those words felt bigger than simple retirement reflections. It sounded like two athletes trying to pass the future forward, the same way their own coaches and mentors once guided them. Because the truth is, no athlete reaches the top of the world alone. Behind every champion stands a team of coaches, choreographers, medical staff, family members, and countless unseen supporters. And the phrase, "we couldn't have made it this far alone," carried far more meaning than fans first realized. It wasn't just gratitude toward each other, it was gratitude toward every single person who helped carry them through the hardest moments of their career. Personally, I believe truly great athletes never act as if they succeeded through their own power alone. That humility, that ability to naturally thank the people around them, may be one of the biggest reasons why Riku became so deeply loved across the world. And speaking of the world, how did international fans react to this emotional broadcast that may have been one of the most fascinating parts of all? For years, Riku's performances had already attracted enormous respect overseas. Every major achievement, from their World Championship podium finish to their retirement announcement, was covered by international skating media around the globe. While this television appearance was originally intended for Japanese audiences, clips and emotional moments from the show quickly spread across social media and reached figure skating fans worldwide. Even without direct statements from international reporters during this program, the history of overseas coverage surrounding Riku says everything about how respected they became internationally. Foreign skating media spent years carefully documenting the rise of Japanese pair skating, often describing Miura and Kihara as the team that changed the future of the sport in Asia. Many international articles praised the way their performances blended athletic difficulty with emotional storytelling. Critics repeatedly emphasized that Riku's greatest strength was never just technical points, it was the story they created together every time they stepped onto the ice. In a discipline historically dominated by European powerhouses, the image of a smaller Japanese pair challenging the world through elegance, trust, and expression felt completely fresh to global audiences. And that's exactly why fans everywhere became emotionally attached to them. Some overseas skating publications even released long tribute articles after their retirement announcement. According to reports, those articles described Riku not simply as strong athletes, but as skaters who genuinely loved pair skating itself, and whose love for the sport could be seen in every movement on the ice. One quote in particular captured the feeling perfectly. They proved that Asian pair skating belongs on the world stage. That sentence alone explains how much they changed the sport forever. After the television broadcast aired, Japanese fans began resharing old overseas reactions online, translating comments from international fans and reminding everyone just how admired Riku truly were beyond Japan. Social media quickly filled with emotional messages like, "The way the world loved them was on another level. They were truly a treasure to global figure skating." As a Japanese fan, I'm proud of what they achieved, but perhaps the most interesting part of all was this: international critics often talked less about their strength and more about their beauty. Not beauty in appearance, beauty in the way they skated, the way they trusted each other, and the emotions they created together on the ice. Many overseas commentators described them as a pair that people would remember emotionally. Not just statistically, a team that moved hearts more than scoreboards, and honestly, maybe that was the true essence of Riku all along. As the program moved deeper into their story,